Yo soy boricua, pa' que tú lo sepas. Yo soy boricua, pa' que tú lo sepas. They said they needed a Puerto Rican in Allentown. And boy, I was more than honored to come out here and talk to my people. You know, Miss Kamala Harris, the next president of the United States of America. She's been a great friend to us. She's been a great leader, and I believe in her wholeheartedly. That's why I call her my friend. This message is going to be short but sweet, and it's about pride. To my Latinos, not just to Puerto Ricans, to my Mexican brothers and sisters. The day I seen Donald Trump come down that escalator and call them Mexicans drug dealers and rapists, he obviously didn't know the Mexican Americans that I know. If that wasn't enough, we had Hurricane Maria, where people were walking in water up to waist deep. Families were fighting. I went to Puerto Rico. They had no water. They had no supplies. I went out there to see my family. The man went over there and threw tissue at the people of Puerto Rico. Now, I started this with telling you, where's the orgullo? Where's the pride? Where's your pride if you're still out there talking about you might be voting for somebody or you're not decided? Where's your pride as a Latino? The man went and blocked the aid for Puerto Rico for Hurricane Maria. What are we doing here? The man blocked the aid for Puerto Rico's recovery. Kamala went out there and dealt with the people. Over 5 million Latino jobs since she's been in office. If that wasn't enough, about a month ago, broke my heart when I seen them say that my Haitian brothers and sisters eat cats and dogs. Well, where's your pride? If you Latino, you Haitian, you black, where's your pride? Where's your pride? The other day, this was no coincidence. This was on purpose. Now, I got to explain to y'all. I wish these mics were louder. You know, I'm used to rapping, right? But I got to explain to you. I really want you to feel the moment. I am a sucker for a good laugh. I'm the guy they throw out the movie theater because the movie's too funny and I'm making too much noise. I'm the guy that you can roast me in a comedy club and I will laugh with you all the way out. The other day in Madison Square Garden, that was no joke, ladies and gentlemen. That was no joke. And it was filled with so much hate. Hatred of Jewish people, hatred of black people, carving watermelons, calling Puerto Rico an island of garbage. My Latinos, where is your pride? I don't know why, but if I'm speaking to some undecided Puerto Ricans, especially in Pennsylvania, what more they got to do to show you who they are? I'm telling you, And the thing about Fat Joe, if you don't know him, he's authentic. He will not sell his soul for nobody in the world. If I tell you Kamala Harris is with us, she's with us. Every single vote matters. Every single vote. And let me tell you something. They've spent billions of dollars in this election. Billions of dollars, wherever you look. Campaign in every state. If you think of how big the United States is, you got Arizona, you got California, you got Memphis, you got... I think it's biblical that the vote comes down to the little guys of Pennsylvania and Philadelphia. This is God's choice. So I'm asking you, if you're undivided, go out there tomorrow and vote for Kamala Harris, because I believe in her and I know you can trust her and you can call her your friend as well. Peace, y'all. Fat Joe.
Can you guys hear me? My city, do you hear me? Yes! Hello, my beautiful city, Allentown. Saludos a mi hermosa ciudad. I'm so glad to see you all here with us today. My name is Elizabeth Strong. I am a lifelong Pennsylvanian, a small business owner, and also a member of the Governor's Advisory Commission on Latino Affairs, representing the city of Allentown and the county of Lehigh. I am also a woman of mixed heritage, like many of us here in the Lehigh Valley. So my heritage is English, Irish, and Puerto Rican. Yes. Tomorrow, we have the opportunity to make history. We have the opportunity to decide what kind of future we want. Because in this election, we have two very different choices. Vice President Harris, on one hand, yes, she's one of us. She's one of us. She was raised by a single mom and understands that when the middle class is strong, America is strong. That is why she is focused on her to-do list of priorities to make our lives better. She is fighting to lower costs by taking on corporate price gouging and making sure rent is lower. She believes in entrepreneurs like me, which is why she has proposed policies to generate 25 million new small business applications by giving $50,000 in tax relief for those new small businesses. She will defend our most fundamental freedoms. Kamala Harris trusts women. And she believes that women should have the power to make decisions about our own bodies. Yes. Yes. Donald Trump, on the other hand, he does not trust women to make decisions about their own bodies. And he has no real plans to make our lives better. He is only looking out for himself at our expense. I, like many of us, like many of you, were outraged by the racist rhetoric spewed at Donald Trump's Madison Square Garden rally. That's right. Puerto Rico, la isla del encanto, is not a floating island of garbage. It is not a floating island of garbage. Y déjame decirles, Puerto Rico se respeta. ¿Sí? Oye, Donald Trump, Puerto Rico se respeta. Pennsylvania, let me ask you this. Are you ready for a new generation of leadership? ¿Están listos para elegir a Kamala Harris? You ready? Are you listos? Sí. Are you ready for a president who will unite us? Yes. Are you ready for a president who will take us forward? I am too. But Kamala Harris cannot do this alone. She is the underdog in this election, and she needs every single one of us to vote tomorrow. Mañana. Okay? Mañana. We're on the final countdown. Mañana. Okay. If you have not voted yet, make a plan to vote at iwillvote.com. Once you voted, ask your friends, your family, your grandparents, your tias, your primos, ask them all. We need everybody to vote. It is our turn to fight for her because she has always fought for us. Ahora, tenemos que luchar por ella. So, are you ready to knock on doors tomorrow? Yes? Are you ready to make phone calls? Are you ready to drive people to the polls? Are you ready to elect Vice President Kamala Harris? Yes? It is now my honor to introduce to you the next President of the United States. Someone who will be President for all Americans, including Puerto Ricans. Yes! Vice President Kamala Harris.
To win. All right. Oh, it's good to be back in Pennsylvania, and it is good to be with so many incredible leaders. Let me thank everyone. I want to thank everyone. I want to thank everyone for taking the time out of your busy lives to be here this afternoon. We are all in this together, and I know we all here know this, but I thank you for all the work everyone has been doing over these last months and over the next 24 hours. Thank you all. I want to thank my dear friend Governor Shapiro for his leadership, his friendship, and all that he does. Congresswoman Wild, let's re-elect her to the United States House of Representatives, and while we're at it, please send Bob Casey back to the United States Senate. Mayor Turk, I thank you for your friendship and your long-standing leadership. And can we hear it for Fat Joe? And Frankie Negron? So listen, I am so thankful to everyone for being here, and including the leaders of the Puerto Rican community. I stand here proud of my longstanding commitment to Puerto Rico and her people, and I will be a president for all Americans. All Americans. All Americans. So Allentown, this is it. Just one more day. One more day. One more day left in one of the most consequential elections of our lifetime, and momentum is on our side. Momentum is on our side. Can you feel it? We have momentum, right? Because our campaign has tapped into the ambitions and the aspirations and the dreams of the American people. We are optimistic and excited about what we will do together. And we here know It is time for a new generation of leadership in America. And I am ready to offer that leadership as the next President of the United States of America. Now, Pennsylvania, the race is not yet over, okay? We got a lot of work to do, and we have got to finish strong. So listen, we got hard work to do, but here's the thing. We like hard work. Hard work is good work. Hard work is joyful work. And make no mistake, we will win. 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 And one of the reasons we will win is because I do believe when you know what you stand for, you know what to fight for. And we have an opportunity in this election to finally turn the page on a decade of politics that have been driven by fear and division. We're done with that. We're done. And we're exhausted with it. America is ready for a fresh start. Love you, sweetheart. And America is ready for a new way forward where we see our fellow American not as an enemy, but as a neighbor. We are ready. We are ready for a president who understands that the true measure of the strength of a leader is not based on who you beat down, it is based on who you lift up. In Pennsylvania, you know me, I am not afraid of tough fights, evidently. For decades, as a prosecutor and the top law enforcement officer of our biggest state, I won fights against the big banks that ripped off homeowners. I won fights against for-profit colleges that scammed veterans and students. I won fights against predators who abused women and children and seniors, and cartels that trafficked in guns and drugs and human beings. We're not going back. And it is my pledge to you, if you give me a chance to fight on your behalf as president, there is nothing in the world that will stand in my way. Nothing in the world. And it is my pledge to you that when I walk, with your help, it is my pledge to you that when I walk in the White House, instead of stewing over an enemies list, I will spend every day working on my to-do list on your behalf, full of priorities that are about improving your life, about bringing down the cost of living, about banning corporate price gouging on groceries, about making housing and child care more affordable. My plan will be about cutting taxes for workers and middle-class families and small businesses, lowering health care costs, including the cost of home care for our seniors. Because here's where I'm coming from on this. I believe access to health care should be a right and not just a privilege of those who can afford it. And to those certain individuals who still want to get rid of the Affordable Care Act, trying to take us back to the days when insurance companies could deny people with pre-existing conditions, well, to them, we say we are not going back. We are not going back. And we are not going back. And And we are not going back because ours is a fight for the future. Ours is a fight for the future. And it is a fight for freedom, like the fundamental freedom of a woman to make decisions about her own body and not have her government tell her what to do. And when Congress, with Bob Casey's help, passes a bill to restore reproductive freedom nationwide, as President of the United States, I will proudly sign it into law. So, Pennsylvania, I'm here to ask for your vote. I'm here to ask for your vote. And here is my pledge to you. As President, I pledge to seek common ground and common sense solutions to the challenges you face. I am not looking to score political points. I am looking to make progress. And I pledge to you that's okay. And it is my pledge to you to listen to those who will be impacted by the decisions I make, to listen to experts, and to listen to people who disagree with me, because I don't believe people who disagree with me are the enemy. And you know what, by the way, listen, we are fighting for a democracy right now. And we love our democracy, and democracy can be a bit complicated sometimes. But that's okay. We are fighting for a democracy, which is why I say that I am not going to be a leader who thinks that people who disagree with me should be put in jail, that they are the enemy. I'll give them a seat at the table, because that's what real leaders do, and that's what strong leaders do. And it is my pledge to you to always put country above party and self, and to be a president for all Americans. So, Allentown, that is my pledge to you. And so let me ask, who here has a plan to vote? Fantastic. That's great. All right. So polls are open here in Pennsylvania tomorrow from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Let's get the word out. Let's definitely vote. And let's get the word out. All the leaders here, help get the word out to remind people of the hours the polls are open, and to remind folks that they can go to iwillvote.com for all the information that folks may need in terms of when and where to vote, and where to drop off their mail ballots, right? Because that's going to be very important. And to all the leaders here, I ask you to please continue to talk to your friends and your family and your neighbors, and let them know why you decided to take time out of your busy lives to be here right now, and what is at stake in this election. Please share your perspective on why this election is so important, and encourage folks to let them know their voices must be heard, because and UAW is in the house. And I am so proud to have your support. Thank you. I'm so proud to have your support. And we need everyone in Pennsylvania to vote, because you are going to make the difference in this election. You will. So here's how I think about things. We are all here together because we love our country. And when you love something, you fight for it. And I do believe it is one of the highest forms of patriotism, of our expression of our love for our country, to then fight for its ideals and to fight to realize the promise of America. And look, I have always believed in our nation's promise because I have lived it. I grew up as a child of the civil rights movement. My parents would take me to marches when I was in a stroller. And there were people there, we've all read and know about it, there were people there from all walks of life who came together in a fight for freedom and for opportunity. You know, growing up, I watched my mother as she raised my sister and me and gave us the same chances our country gave her. I was blessed to have family by blood and to have family by love who instilled in me the values of community and compassion and faith. I've spent my life fighting for people who have been hurt and counted out, but who never stopped believing that in our country anything is possible. I have lived the promise of America, and today I see the promise of America in everyone who is here, in every one of you, in every one of us. We are the promise of America. We, everyone here, we are the promise of America. We are the promise of America. And I see it in the fathers and the mothers and the grandparents who work hard every day for the children's future. I see it in the women who refuse to accept a future without reproductive freedom. I see it in the men who support them. I see it in the Republicans who never voted for a Democrat before, but put the Constitution of the United States over party. And every day I see the promise of America in all the young leaders who are voting for the first time. Gen Z, and here's one of the reasons why. So here's one of the things about y'all. You are rightly impatient for change. I know that. And you who have only known the climate crisis are leading the charge to protect our planet and our future. You who grew up with active shooter drills are fighting to keep our schools safe. You who have known fewer rights than your mothers and grandmothers are standing up for freedom. And for you, none of these issues is theoretical or political. This is your lived experience. And I see you. And I see your power. And we must recognize how bright the future of our nation is because of you. So can we hear it for our first-time voters, everybody? One day left, and we need to finish this strong and get this done. So let's get out the vote. Let's reach out to all of our folks in the next 24 hours, family and friends and classmates and neighbors and coworkers. And as we do, I ask, let us please be intentional about building community. Let us be intentional about building coalitions. Because, you know, there's been so much about these last few years that has been about trying to beat people down, trying to have Americans point their fingers at each other, trying to make people feel as though they're alone and don't have anybody. So not anymore, because we all know that our power includes, yes, this vote and this election, but building community and coalitions and reminding folks the vast majority of us have so much more in common than what separates us, and we are all in this together. We are all in this together. And from the very start of our campaign, this has not been about a fight that is against something. This is about a fight that is for something. For something. This is about a future with freedom and opportunity and dignity for all Americans. And so in this final stretch, let us remember that we have a lot of work to do, and there is power in our work about reminding folks of their voice and the power of their vote. So remember, your vote is your voice, and your voice is your power. So, Pennsylvania, Allentown, I then ask you, are you ready to make your voices heard? Do we believe in freedom? Do we believe in opportunity? Do we believe in the promise of America? And are we ready to fight for it? And when we fight, we win. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.